Receiving this award is clearly a distinct honor and a real privilege for me. I attribute a lot of what I've done to the education and the environment that I had the privilege of enjoying while I was here at Oxy. And I think that through my involvement with the Alumni Association and in my career as a lawyer and a judge, I've always had this sense that I wanted to give back. I wanted to be a contributor, and I think that Oxy instilled in me that sense of responsibility, for which I'm grateful. Shortly after I left Oxy, I went to law school. I practiced law in a small firm in Pasadena for most of my career, for 20 years. Our firm had a sense of responsibility to the community beyond just providing legal services. We were all involved in community activities and boards and different things. When I went on the bench, I made that transition because I really felt like I could make a difference. I was excited about getting up in the morning and going to work every day, and I came home most days and felt that I had done something positive and helped somebody. And I give a lot of credit to my background and my time at Oxy for developing that desire to give back. I'm humbled by the award and the fact that I would be chosen to receive it.
Well, this award means a lot to me in terms of recognizing the role of our public servants, of which I am now one. I was born and raised in California. I was looking for a small school experience, and so I ended up here. Occidental had great opportunities for students like me. Oxy paid for me to go to Hong Kong. I spent several months living in my ancestral village, and when I came back to Occidental, I wrote my thesis about that, and I also parlayed that into magazine articles, newspaper articles, and then some speaking tours. That helped get me into law school and launched me on my career. The work that I did over the past 35 years as a lawyer in civil trial practice, private practice, really prepared me to hit the ground running when I took this position as the Attorney General. The thing that I really am most proud of is being present at doing some meaningful things in government. I was involved last year in settling some historic claims by Native Hawaiians against the state of Hawaii. There are reconciliation issues and there are really just plain fairness issues. And I'm just pleased as punch to have been a small part of addressing some of those things.
Past 5 years, I've had the opportunity to do so many different things. I started off as a Fulbright scholar. I went to Russia and studied Russian, and then I moved to Tajikistan and studied Persian language and political Islam. After Tajikistan, I started a position as an analyst at the U.S. Department of Commerce. In this position, I've had the opportunity to work with a bunch of different agencies, from law enforcement to national security. Currently, I'm working on Russia policy, and I'm working with the State Department to kind of pursue our policy in terms of export controls. My experience at Oxy really gave me the tools to be able to do the research and, quite quickly get the knowledge set to do my job properly. Though Alumni Seal Award really was a surprise to me, I was a little bit shocked to even be considered. It's really humbling to me to receive it because I know my peers, my fellow students, what they've achieved and their ambitions and goals, and being recognized from Occidental, it's very significant. Kind of validates some of my life choices and experiences and makes me want to pursue more in the same direction.
I think the thing I liked most about Occidental was the individual attention that you had from professors. They were teachers, not just people who were doing research, and many of them had a great influence on my life later on, particularly in my teaching career. I was in the Peace Corps in Afghanistan for 3.5 years. I re-upped because I speak fluent Farsi and learned a lot about the culture. I was a teacher, trainer there, and also taught English. I think the accomplishment that I'm the most proud of is when I went back to work with the Afghan refugees in Pakistan. We together developed the teacher training program that was only 3 weeks long, but turned somebody who was not a teacher into a teacher, a really good one. And that curriculum is the basis of the teacher training curriculum in Afghanistan today, and has trained over 100,000 teachers and has helped at least 10 million students. What inspires me is seeing people go from despair to hope, to doing what they want to do, to having light in their eyes. That's what inspires me.
I came from Shanghai, China. However, I left Shanghai, China in 1948. I was essentially a refugee. In thinking back, I wish as a teacher I have 1/10 of the patience that the students and the teacher at Oxy given to me. I hardly spoke any English. So in order to become a drama major, you actually have to be a speech major. And I could not envision myself to be a speech major. And I plunged in. I love theater, and I love designing. And I love the idea of designing for the theater, of transforming an idea that is essentially words and emotion and transform them into visual imagery. My Sophocles Electra managed to introduce a certain amount of design that is non-realistic, that is iconic. I think cumulatively speaking, I am very proud of what I did as a career, as a profession.